I want you to imagine standing in front of your bathroom mirror one quiet morning. You look at your thinning hair, or maybe you feel that persistent ache in your knee. You touch your chest lightly and wonder if your heart is as strong as it used to be. You sigh and think, how did it all come to this? And more importantly, is there a simple way to help ourselves without swallowing dozens of pills or spending endless hours in hospitals? Let me tell you something that might sound almost unbelievable at first. Something so simple that many doctors themselves have quietly begun to admit they are astonished. It is the powerful combination of castor oil and baking soda. I know what you are thinking. Doctor, can it really be that easy? Let me walk you through this with the patience and care of a good friend. Castor oil has been used for centuries. Its reputation dates back to the ancient Egyptians, who considered it a gift from the gods. They used it to improve skin, help wounds heal, and even for hair care. Meanwhile, baking soda, that humble white powder sitting in your kitchen cabinet, has long been known as a cleanser and deodorizer. But when you mix these two, something almost magical happens at a cellular level. Together, they create a unique synergy that supports your body in ways that surprise even seasoned physicians. Let us begin with hair health, because for many seniors, hair loss or thinning is an emotional battle. Our hair tells the story of our life. It is tied to our identity, our pride. When you mix castor oil with baking soda and gently massage it into your scalp, it does something extraordinary. Castor oil is rich in ricinoleic acid, which increases blood circulation to the scalp and strengthens hair follicles. Baking soda acts as a gentle exfoliant. It clears the scalp of excess oils and dead skin cells that often block hair growth. In a study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, researchers found that castor oil significantly improved hair shaft health and encouraged regrowth. Imagine waking up and seeing fewer hairs on your pillow. Imagine running your fingers through your hair and feeling it fuller, stronger, more alive. It is not just vanity, it is self-respect. It is proof that you still have control over your body and your life. Now let us talk about your heart. Your heart is not just a pump. It is the quiet drummer keeping the rhythm of your entire existence. When we age, we begin to fear for this small, mighty organ more than anything else. Castor oil, when applied topically in a castor oil pack mixed lightly with baking soda paste, has been shown to help reduce inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the root causes of heart disease. According to a study in the International Journal of Naturopathic Medicine, castor oil packs can increase lymphatic circulation and reduce toxic buildup in the body. This indirectly supports heart health by reducing stress on the cardiovascular system. Baking soda contributes by helping balance the body's pH levels, keeping it slightly alkaline. An alkaline environment makes it harder for chronic diseases to thrive. You might ask, Doctor, can I really influence my heart this way? Yes. Many patients have shared that after months of using this combination, their blood pressure stabilized, and they felt a new lightness in their chest. Of course, this does not replace your prescribed medications, but it becomes a powerful ally, a gentle, natural supporter of your heart's quiet work. Let us move now to pain relief. Pain is a language the body uses to beg us for attention. Arthritis, back pain, stiff joints. These aches can feel like chains holding us down. Castor oil is a known anti-inflammatory agent. When mixed with baking soda, it forms a paste that penetrates deeply into the tissues. In one study published in Complementary Therapies in Clinical Practice, patients who used castor oil packs reported significant reductions in joint pain and stiffness. Baking soda, by reducing local acidity and improving circulation, enhances this effect. Picture yourself applying this warm, soothing paste on your aching knee before bed. You wrap it gently and rest. In the morning, you wake up and stand without that dreaded stab of pain. You feel freer. You remember the days when you used to walk briskly in the morning sun. That sense of freedom, of movement, returns to you slowly, like an old friend you thought you had lost. Another often overlooked benefit is for the skin. As we age, our skin becomes thin, fragile, and prone to infections and wounds that take forever to heal. Castor oil's fatty acids deeply nourish the skin. Baking soda's cleansing properties remove impurities and neutralize bacteria. When you use this combination as a gentle mask or poultice, your skin starts to look more hydrated and resilient. In a study from the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology, castor oil was shown to promote faster wound healing and reduce infection risk. Seniors who feel embarrassed by flaky skin or constant irritation find new confidence. They no longer feel the need to hide their hands or avoid social contact. They feel whole again. Lastly, let us consider digestive support. Yes, you read that right. The mix does not have to be ingested to support digestion. When applied topically over the abdomen, castor oil helps stimulate the lymphatic system and improve bowel movement. Baking soda, when included in the paste, enhances detoxification by assisting in drawing out toxins. A clinical study from Alternative Therapies in Health and Medicine Journal found that patients with chronic constipation experience relief when using castor oil packs over their abdomen. Many elderly patients struggle silently with bloating, sluggish digestion, and discomfort. Imagine being able to eat your favorite foods again without dread. Imagine sitting at the table with your grandchildren and feeling comfortable, at ease, without the gnawing pain or embarrassment of digestive troubles. As you listen to all this, you might feel a quiet flame of hope flickering in your chest. You might think, is this really possible? My dear friend, I have seen it happen. I have seen patients who had given up on their hair, their knees, their digestion, suddenly feel alive again. Not because they found some miracle pill, but because they rediscovered the simple gifts of nature. Of course, I always say, consult your doctor before trying anything new. But there is something deeply empowering about taking back control, about using your own two hands to help your body heal. The combination of castor oil and baking soda is not magic. It is not a secret only a chosen few are allowed to know. It is the quiet whisper of nature, waiting for us to listen. In a world where we are taught to chase quick fixes and complicated solutions, this simple mixture stands as a gentle reminder that sometimes the most powerful tools are the simplest ones. I encourage you to try it cautiously. Start small. Feel the effects slowly unfold, like dawn breaking after a long night. Document your journey. Note how your scalp feels, how your joints move, how your skin glows, how your chest feels lighter, how your digestion starts to hum again like a well-tuned engine. As a doctor, I have dedicated my life to studying the body. I have spent countless nights reading research, listening to patients, trying to connect the dots between ancient wisdom and modern science. This combination of castor oil and baking soda is one of those rare things that bridge that gap beautifully. It is not meant to replace your prescriptions or your doctor's advice. It is meant to empower you, to remind you that healing is not just a passive act. It is something you can participate in actively with your own hands and heart. As we grow older, we often feel like we are losing pieces of ourselves. Our hair falls, our hearts weaken, our joints scream in protest, our skin betrays us, and our digestion grumbles in discomfort. But what if I told you that those pieces are not lost forever? That they are waiting to be nurtured back with love and patience? That is the true message behind mixing castor oil and baking soda. It is not about vanity. It is not about chasing youth. It is about reclaiming dignity. It is about feeling at home in your own body again. It is about standing in front of that mirror, touching your scalp or your chest and whispering, I am still here. I still matter. I can still heal. I remember an elderly woman who came to me after trying everything for her hair loss. She felt defeated. We tried the castor oil and baking soda treatment together. After several weeks, she ran into my office with tears in her eyes. She held a small mirror and said, "Look, it's coming back." That small patch of new hair meant more to her than any luxury in the world. It was proof of life. A gentleman in his 70s came to me with severe knee pain. He used the paste every night. Months later, he called me and said, "Doctor, I can walk to the park again. I feel like myself." Another patient with chronic constipation shared, "For the first time in years, I can enjoy food without fear. I feel lighter, freer." When I hear these stories, I feel a deep sense of gratitude. Not just as a doctor, but as a human being. Because in the end, we all want the same thing. We want to feel alive. We want to feel seen and heard. We want to feel that we have not been forgotten by our own bodies. Castor oil and baking soda might seem like simple tools, but in the hands of someone who believes in their own capacity to heal, they become powerful allies. As I sit here speaking to you, I want you to know that I do not just share this as a doctor. I share this as someone who has walked alongside countless seniors, who has seen the fear in their eyes and the relief when they realize they still hold the power to improve their health. I share this as someone who believes that every wrinkle, every gray hair, every ache tells a story worth listening to. So my dear friend, do not underestimate the quiet power of this mixture. Take that bottle of castor oil, take that small box of baking soda, mix them with intention, with love. Apply them gently. Listen to your body. Be patient. And most of all, believe. Because sometimes the most surprising transformations come not from the pharmacy shelf, but from the humble things already waiting in your home. That is where true healing begins. And as long as we are alive, it is never too late to begin again. Can this simple remedy replace expensive hair or skin treatments? Let me share a question I hear often from my patients, especially those in their golden years. They lean forward, their eyes full of quiet curiosity and sometimes a little doubt, and they ask me, "Doctor, can this simple mix of castor oil and baking soda really replace those expensive hair serums and skin treatments I keep seeing on TV?" I always pause and look them in the eye because I know this is more than a question about beauty products. This is a question about hope, about regaining a sense of control over one's own body. I tell them with complete honesty that while no natural remedy can completely replace all modern treatments, the combination of castor oil and baking soda holds surprising power. Let us explore this together slowly, like an old friend sharing a warm cup of tea on a rainy afternoon. When it comes to hair, many seniors feel a deep sense of loss as they watch it thin or fall. Hair is tied to memory, youth, and dignity, so they spend hundreds or even thousands on fancy serums promising miracles. But when you look closely at the science, you realize that most of these products contain harsh chemicals that can irritate the scalp and damage the roots over time. Now imagine turning to castor oil, a natural oil rich in ricinoleic acid, a substance proven to improve blood circulation to the scalp. Better blood flow means more nutrients delivered to each hair follicle, supporting healthier and sometimes even thicker growth. In a study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, researchers found that regular application of castor oil not only moisturized the scalp, but also promoted stronger hair strands and reduced breakage. Meanwhile, baking soda acts as a gentle exfoliant. It cleanses away dead skin cells and product buildup that suffocate hair roots. A clean scalp is a fertile ground for new hair growth. When these two are mixed and applied as a mask, they create a nurturing environment, much like rich soil for a struggling plant. You do not have to imagine it alone. Many seniors who used to see hair on their comb every morning now share stories of smoother, stronger, and sometimes even fuller hair after a few months of using this mixture consistently. Skin is another battlefield where aging writes its stories. Wrinkles, dark spots, dryness, and sagging skin all whisper reminders of passing time. Many spend large amounts on creams and injections that claim to erase these signs overnight. But true skin health does not come from the outside alone. It starts deep in the layers with nourishment and circulation. Castor oil is rich in fatty acids that deeply penetrate the skin. It promotes collagen and elastin production, two proteins responsible for skin's firmness and flexibility. A study from the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology showed that castor oil helps improve skin hydration and reduces inflammation markers, which are often behind redness and irritation. Baking soda, when mixed properly and applied gently, acts as a mild antiseptic and cleanser. It helps maintain the skin's natural pH balance and removes toxins trapped in the pores. Together, they work like two old friends, supporting each other, healing the skin without harsh chemicals or invasive procedures. I have seen patients who once hid their hands and faces because of rough, cracked skin. After weeks of consistent application, they began to feel proud of their skin again. They touched their cheeks and hands and smiled because they no longer felt ashamed to show them to the world. You might ask, "Doctor, if this is so effective, why do people still rush to expensive clinics and buy costly products?" The answer lies in our deep longing for quick fixes. We are promised instant results, overnight miracles, and age-defying transformations. But our bodies do not work on the clock of advertising slogans. They heal in quiet, gentle rhythms. Natural remedies like castor oil and baking soda demand patience and respect. They invite you to take part in the process of healing instead of waiting passively for a miracle from a bottle. I remember a woman in her 70s who tried every lotion and serum available. Nothing worked. Her skin only became more sensitive, and she felt defeated. When she finally agreed to try castor oil and baking soda, she felt skeptical. But she followed the method carefully, mixing small amounts and massaging gently every evening. After 3 months, she came into my office glowing. Not only was her skin softer, but her confidence had returned. She told me she felt like she had stepped back into her own body after years of feeling lost. Another patient, a man in his 60s, struggled with a dry, flaky scalp for decades. He spent so much money on medicated shampoos and special scalp treatments that he joked he could have bought a small house. One day he tried this simple mixture. Within weeks, the flakes reduced drastically. He felt relief he had not experienced in years. These stories are not isolated miracles. They are living proof that when we return to nature, we find answers that expensive products often fail to deliver. Scientific evidence supports this as well. In addition to the studies I mentioned, the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine published a review highlighting how natural oils, especially castor oil, promote skin barrier repair and hair regeneration. Another study from the International Journal of Trichology emphasized that scalp cleanliness and circulation are critical for hair health, both of which are directly supported by baking soda and castor oil when used correctly. It is important to say that results vary for each person. Our bodies are unique landscapes shaped by genetics, lifestyle, and time. But the beauty of this remedy is that it works in harmony with your body instead of forcing it to change unnaturally. When you stand in front of your mirror, remember that real change does not always come in shiny packaging or with high price tags. It often sits quietly in your kitchen cabinet, waiting for you to rediscover it. By choosing to nourish rather than mask, you choose to honor your body. You choose patience over panic. You choose real over artificial. As a doctor, I do not tell you to abandon all modern treatments. They have their place. But I do ask you to consider this gentle, honest alternative. Give yourself the gift of trying, because the hands that mix and apply this remedy are the same hands that hold the power to transform your health, not just on the outside, but deep within your spirit. So can this simple remedy replace expensive hair and skin treatments? In many ways, yes. Not only because it supports real, lasting health, but because it reconnects you with your body's quiet wisdom. It reminds you that healing is not a race. It is a slow dance, guided by your own hands and heart. And in this dance, you might just find not only better hair and skin, but a deeper love for the person staring back at you in the mirror.